Welcome back, everyone, to another Company Fears 2 podcast. This time it's going to be a 2v2 on the most lovely map in the game, Road to Kharkov. And it's going to be sent in by Adam, or Adamir Magnum. It's been a while since I've casted his replays, actually. So yeah, it should be nice. It is, by the way, not his fault. It's just because I have not been casting them when he sent them, so sorry. But yeah, he's playing as the Brits, and his friend Sweet Roll Worthing Near the Door, that's an interesting name, is going in as the Soviets. Then we have a double OKW combination over here, Skark and Shionji Yuko. Fucking weebs. Coming in with the Stern Pioneers. Yeah, and it's Road to Kharkov, so should hopefully be a relatively interesting little match, I'd say. Oh, look. He's doing a derp with the steel barricade. I wonder if that's going to be enough to really stop anyone that's going to be coming in, but whatever. Yeah, first engagement, right side. Obviously, we have the Brits fighting it out against the Stern Pioneers, and with the Universal Carrier, I'd say that the Brits should have this fight if they can use this guy to soak up all the fire. The infantry section is attempting to run away, and these opponents are trying to chase, but obviously they are kind of overreaching a little bit. They need to come in with the other infantry squad. However, the British guy is pulling up with the machine gun. So if Adam can get the machine gun set up, you know, in some... they moved this guy. Used to be here. If he can move up with the machine gun and get some suppressing fire down, then he is going to be in a good spot. In the south, we have a little bit of a stalemate, actually. The Stern Pioneers over here are having to hide behind the building because of the machine gun. The Maxim is just a little bit too difficult, probably, to deal with, because once it sets up, as you can see, it's going to be difficult for these guys to really do anything. There's just too much open ground on the south side of Road to Kharkov for anything to really come out of that. Anyway, Adamir Magnum has managed to at least deter the German forces. However, nice flank over here is going to be disrupting the Maxim, and yeah, now it has to run away, but the Stern Pioneers are pushing up, and so they probably have to run away. Okay, so they do run away, and that's actually pretty devastating for Sweet Roll, because he's also getting flanked on the south by some Volksgrenadiers. So the other Maxim machine gun also needs to run away, and the other Maxim machine gun up here is in trouble because of the Stern Pioneer squad that's behind. So this building is now completely surrounded on all sides. Here comes the flame grenade with the machine gun being down to only one crew member. This is very, very dangerous. He could lose the machine gun. He does get out, so he will not lose the weapon team, and he also doesn't lose the actual crew itself. But the Soviets have been completely pushed back. The one machine gun that they have is not able to really cover this area effectively because of the limited arc of fire. As you can see, he's already getting flanked over here. The Universal Carrier dies to a Raken River, and so the Allies have been completely swept off the map by this early game German pushing. That's obviously quite great for them and quite terrible for the Allies. However, we're gonna see if our good allied friends can recover from this, and we're gonna see, especially if the Axis can capitalize upon this, which is not, you know, not entirely sure that that's gonna happen. Like, for example, they're already leaving this area completely undefended, and so Adamir Magnum is easily enough garrisoning it with some guys. He's getting up some sandbags, got the machine gun in the rear covering the whole area, so that's going to be okay. Plus, caps the VP, so that prevents the triple cap. On the left side, we have the big wall of machine guns pushing back forward. Flamethrower on the engineers is probably a pretty good decision. That's going to complement the machine guns' weakness, essentially, which is buildings, obviously, shooting at people in buildings. So the flamethrower going to be relatively good at that. Up in the north, we have a bit of a counterattack attempt by Skark, and it's working out in that he's killing some Royal Engineers, but the Vickers has suppressed the other side of the pincer movement over here from these Volksgrenadiers, so they have to run away. And the infantry section is trying to hold out against the superior numbers, but it's doing okay. The second part of the flank continues to move forward as another Volksgrenadier squad, comes in, and they do manage to get a flame incendiary grenade on the Vickers. Can the Vickers suppress them? Yes, he can, but he's taking heavy damage from the fire, obviously. And the infantry section up here needs to run away as well. Oh, but he's going to be wiped by the flames. That's definitely terrible because it is pretty much in enemy territory at this point. Although none of these units have enough strength to really pick it up and survive intact. In the south, the MG spam is working out well for Sweetroll, and he's moving up, even getting a demo charge on the rear side of this building, which is obviously meant to kind of compensate for the fact that now the demo charges, you can see them from quite a bit far away with your units. So obviously by putting it in the building, he's hoping that enemies come up and try to get in the house and then blow them up. And this honestly looks pretty bad for the Germans, but they're getting a flak, and the flak is gonna be pretty much good enough to deal with most of these guys. However, there is a guard squad. Guard squad is not gonna get to the field in time though, and so yeah, the MGs are gonna have to run away because the half track, there's nothing that they can do against it. Like, it's just going to kill them. And they're going to do some damage to the half-track, but not enough overall. That's very lucky, to be honest, because if it was left to the German infantry, I don't see them, I don't see them really breaching the line. Although, as I say that, they do breach the line and get the flanking off. Okay. Anyway, so finally the Germans are able to get the Allies off the battle group headquarters. The battle group headquarters in this position is going to be a very valuable tool for the OKW. Putting down some mines. Interesting. Very valuable tool for the OKW to get the left-hand side under their control. Sweetroll actually, had to pick mechanized support to get those guards. So that means that the late game does have the ISU-152, and the ISU-152 on this map is relatively effective. So that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. On the right side, it's been a bit of a tug-of-war over the right side VP. The center VP has been mostly under German control, but finally Adamir is sending in a troop to capture that, so that's pretty good. And I'd say that right now there's just a little too many units over here that are back at base reinforcing for this German squad to hold. However, there is a flak, so who knows? It's another flak, actually. Quite dangerous to go with so many early game vehicles for both of the players. And that's an artillery. So British artillery going to fire on that area. We are getting a 6-pounder. Adamir is getting a 6-pounder. That's probably a pretty good thing. Luckily for the Germans, this Vickers is not Vet 2, so it's not going to get those armor-piercing rounds off on the half-track, and so that is going to rule the field for a little bit, at least until the AT gun is purchased. Two Volksgrenadier squads moving up, but thankfully for them, there is the MG, thankfully for the Allies, there is the MG wall. And with the AT gun that Sweetroll got to counter the half-track, I'd say that he's in a relatively decent position. Nice, he's actually trying to destroy the MG. That is good. Yeah, he's gonna be able to do that, I think. No, he cannot, because the Volksgrenadiers, come on! Oh, that is sad. Anyway, now that the MG is dead, he can shoot at the half-track. Incredibly lucky, because the AT gun misses, but yeah, overall I'd say that's pretty okay. Flame grenade. And the AT gun, as I said, relatively effective, actually abandons it. So that's perhaps, I'm not sure. I think he might have enough time if he holds, but he's not going to hold. Like, the Volksgrenadiers just can't hold against all of this. He should probably just focus his rifle fire from the rear at close range and kill it, because he's not gonna take it back. Like, he cannot repair it on the spot because his own infantry just does not have the capabilities to hold against all of this while the Pioneers repair. The Pioneers have to run away. Nice flame grenade though. So this is just going to leave potentially the flak to the enemy. Although he does have the Raken River here. But you cannot really rely upon this. He should have just killed it. Oh well. Panzer Fusiliers are coming in. So that's breakthrough doctrine. And okay, so he's now shooting with the Raken River, realizes what's going on, and destroys the thing. Okay. However, the Allies are pushing in the south, and the Allies are pushing in the north. So that's the situation is not looking all that good for the Nazis. They're gonna need to try to essentially take the initiative back from Allied control. And I'd say that since the Allies are going with so much in terms of team weapons, perhaps I should have focused more on artillery instead of getting out flak half-tracks from the tier 1. At least both players, they should have focused more on getting out LEAG support guns to really deal with these MGs as effectively as possible. But hey, that's just, you know, it's just what I think. Actually, Sweet Roll is using his fuel advantage, sort of fuel advantage, to get a mechanized armor company very early on. It's 11 minutes in the game, so I might see a T-34 by like the 13-minute mark. No, more like 13 and 50. So that's quite good. That's quite good. Or he could go for the Katyusha to deal with this. That would also be very useful, I'd say. In fact, probably more useful because, you know, the Allied attacks over here are going to be funneled anyway, so Raken River can probably cover the area from a T-34 quite easily. Yet another back and forth up north as the Germans recapture this place. However, well, we'll see. We'll see if Fatimir can really do anything about this. Looks like he's upgrading the infantry squads. Upgrading the infantry squads, and he has a company command post, so he might get something like a Centaur or an, you know, something of the sort. Infiltration commandos being spawned actually behind German lines. Did he notice actually? What the hell happened?
One extra soldier can be added to infantry squads now.
Why are they? Why is there? What damaged these guys? I don't know. I'm not sure if these guys are realizing what's going on. This is potentially dangerous. Anyway, it seems like there's a Schwer Panzer headquarters. Oh, that was probably the Schwer Panzer headquarters that shot them. I was gonna say that looks like a Schwer Panzer headquarters shot at them, because you know they took damage in the building, you know, very quickly. But I didn't exactly realize that there was a Schwer Panzer headquarters in this spot. So if it wasn't for the Schwer Panzer headquarters, then this push would have been very dangerous for the Axis. But because of that, they're gonna have a free AT gun. Interesting. Infiltration commandos are still around, but what? That was an interesting attempt, but it's not gonna work. And now they're probably gonna be wiped out, actually, because there's a Schubmine. Oh, but they run away. Okay. Okay, so they survive, but still, like the 370 manpower infiltration commando probably, you know, wasn't longing to be used in this way. But oh well. But oh well. Royal Engineers, yeah, overpowered AF apparently. So they clear out the Panzer Fusiliers, but here comes more folks. Where's the MG? MG is way in the back, so it's not able to support. However, there's a nice flanking maneuver from the infantry section, so that's not bad. When is it? Actually, Admir Magnum has 280 munitions, so he should probably be getting those weapon racks to upgrade his infantry with Brens, because that would definitely help out a lot against what he's facing. He doesn't really face that many elite infantry units. He can really just crush them with Bren's. T-34 is on the field for Sweet Roll, and he does manage to get the kill on the flak, nicely using the attack round actually through the smoke to kill it. Doesn't even have to hit the mine over here. Needs to be very careful about these mines. He doesn't have a minesweeper. In fact, does he even notice that there's mines around? I'm not sure. Not sure. Big artillery fire. Well, the T-34 is definitely making a good show for itself. Oh, wow. Actually kind of obliterates the Stern Pioneer. Is he going to be able to destroy him? Yes, very, very well done. Machine gun snipes down the running away Stern Pioneers. And also deals heavy damage to the Volksgrenadiers. Is that going to be a wipe? No. I'm sorry. Yeah, as you can see, those support guns are very useful. Now that he got a second one, they're starting to be quite the pain for the Allies. I am always right. Looks like the Germans are trying to capture all 3 VPs at once. That's obviously quite ambitious and quite good if they can do that, because the Allies are down to 340 VPs. Only 10 minutes of triple cap. Wait, am I retarded? No, that's only 5 minutes of triple cap. So apparently, no, I'm not always right. And yeah, now that they have that, they can seriously bleed out our good allies. However, it's not going to last that long, as the right side should be reclaimed by the British. Over here, it seems like we have Sweet Roll trying to push in with the MG, which is, funnily enough, being protected by the infiltration commandos who get spotted by the support guns. Katyusha is on the field, and it's going to get a bit of a barrage off on the central position of the Germans. However, that's not going to prevent them from actually finishing a flak emplacement, which is at half strength but getting repaired relatively easily, so yeah, that's not that bad. Panzer IV on the field for Skark. So finally the Germans actually getting units out of tier 4, and oh great, that's just fucking great. When your opponent has Katyusha, what do? You get a pack 43, because that's just the best idea ever. Anyway, Churchill's coming along for Adamir Magnum, so basically everyone is trying to get out their late game, their first pieces of late game armor. And yeah, I'd say that the T-34 is soon going to be kind of phased out. It's going to be made obsolete, but we'll see. It's not entirely necessary, although and yeah, like the one time the pack 43 could have been like a little useful, it wasn't, because it was turned the other way. Nice incendiary grenade on the trench, but the MG survives. That's important because it's vet 2. Once again, triple cap, and the Allies are down to 256, which is 4 minutes of time before they lose. So this push coming in is pretty important. Nice double flame grenade on those Maxims, but the Maxims can just kind of get out, maybe. The Katyusha barrage is not going to be enough to deal with the flak emplacement, though, and with the T-34 coming back in, this is potentially death for the T-34, as there is the nasty pack 43. One of the yep, T-34 goes up in flames. One of the LAGs also died. Guards riflemen are trying to push in on the western flank, and they're encountering absolutely no opposition. Perhaps they should be using this further, actually, and trying to get to the pack 43 to kill it. But with the infantry being reinforced so close by the battle headquarters, that's not going to be available, not going to be possible. So not yet. They're still trying to move in from the center. However, because of the Pack 43, the Churchill's not able to move in close, and so it's not able to provide enough infantry support. And so the infantry dies. North is recapped by the Nazis. So overall, it seems like the Germans are on the ascendancy as a whole. That's not that great. Yeah, the Allies absolutely, I think, need to... Okay, so just out of nowhere, I think that the main problem with the Allies is that they're both kind of playing 1v1. The Germans also are playing mostly 1v1, but the Allies are suffering more because of it, because they're the ones losing. So it's kind of been turning into a... you know, lose more scenario for them. Like, of course, here comes the Katyusha barrage to support the ally over here, but other than that, they're not really coordinating their efforts as much as they could be. And what that is allowing is, for example, the Pack 43 over here to not be overwhelmed, or the Panzer IV essentially being safe because the Churchill cannot chase it down like the dog that it is. And actually, here comes another Panzer IV from Shunji, and he's trying desperately to be useful, but I think that he's going to die. He's in a bad spot. Yep, actually abandoned. That's pretty bad. Looks like the Churchill is showing its superiority once again, and absolutely not giving a damn about the Panzer IV that's shooting at it. Nice grenade, gonna almost wipe out the Sturm Pioneers and force them to retreat. The armor-piercing rounds are not gonna do anything on the Churchill. What are you trying to do there, mate? Run away. Still a machine gun. It says it's armor-piercing, but that's not gonna pierce that much armor. So now, with the Panzer IV damaged and all the other units running away, it is the chance for Admir Magnum to kind of take and hold the right side. He can also get a land mattress, which I feel like wouldn't be the worst idea ever against what he's facing. And oh crap, Panzerfaust comes in. This could be bad because here comes the Raketenwerfer and the Panzer IV from the side. Of course, there is the infantry support smoke that could be going up. Nice support from the AT gun is going to not kill the Panzer IV, but definitely force it away. And Raketenwerfer is punishing the Churchill quite hard. He's thrown away, but he still has the infantry support smoke in the case of danger, which is not the case. One of the Panzer Elite, sorry, not the Panzer Elite, the OKW troops almost dies, but yeah, he's going to survive. And actually, one infantry section gets wiped out by the flames. So overall, trading up for the Germans as a whole, but the Allies do get the VP, which is very, very, very important because they're down to 168 VPs. So that is that is not an emergency situation, but it is definitely tense for them. And on the left side, it's not looking all that well. It seems like Sweet Roll's troops have been forced mostly back to the base. Although the ace in the hole for him is about to come as Isu-152, almost enough resources to buy that. Of course, Skark has gone for the jagdtiger, so he could go ahead and get himself a jagdtiger, which would counter the Isu-152. But see, the thing is, Skark is on the other side of the map, so who knows? Rip Infiltration Commandos, that's why I don't like them. They're just way too vulnerable, squishy. They're very, very squishy. Still though, like, there's a Churchill here, so that means that Skark, if he wanted, keyword, could, oh, Panzer IV. Skark, if he wanted, and again, keyword, could get a jagdtiger. It would counter the Churchill. and it would complement the Panzer IV in case other heavy units come out for the Allies in the future, such as the Su-152. Of course, that doesn't matter anything, you know, doesn't matter at all if the Panzer IV is being a derp, which right now it is being, but who knows. Yeah, once again, another Soviet attempt to push forward with infantry is being shut down by the flak emplacement over here. The Katyusha is not being as effective as it could have been, and looks like another artillery piece is coming in, and this time it's the actual artillery piece. So yeah, lots of fixed guns coming up for Shunji Yuko, and that is gonna be relatively nasty because it can be quite dangerous. Can be quite dangerous if it uses the counter barrage to the Katyusha. Churchill was able to destroy this Raketenwerfer, which was hounding him pretty much the entire time, and now he's trying to destroy it, but he's just missing all the time. That's just so incredibly unlucky. But another grenade absolutely obliterates the crewing members. Oh, and he wipes out the Vet 5 Volksgrenadier squad of his MGs. And now he can destroy the gun, so the mobile fortress of the Churchill is doing quite well. Here comes a zeroing artillery though, which might be dangerous because he is kind of in the danger zone over here. However, there's no vision, there's no line of sight on the guy, so the zeroing artillery shells will not be falling down upon him. Definitely a bit of a waste for Shunji Kyujo or Yuko. And Su-152 is on the field. Now though, the Allies are being smart and are grouping their heavy armor together. Now that they're doing that, this is going to be a very difficult to counter group, as the Su-152 can work as a heavy anti-tank and as a long-range anti-infantry, while the Churchill can deal with the close-range infantry support, essentially. Preventing just random Volksgrenadier squads from coming around and harassing the Su-152 at least too much. And it looks like the Katyusha is whittling down the Pak 43. But at this point, if I were him, I'd try to focus on the enemy artillery as much as possible. Even perhaps firing at maximum range with the Katyusha against the German artillery piece. Although, of course, the German artillery piece, like, it needs to deserve the focus, right? Just kind of randomly it being there is not... It doesn't mean that it's dangerous. It's only dangerous if, like, you know, bad things start happening all around. Yeah, that Vet 2 Churchill is being very effective, 24 kills. However, here comes the counter, the jagdtiger. And the counter to the jagdtiger, which is the bush, which prevented it from firing. And I think that the Churchill's dead, but so is the Panzer IV. Churchill, oh, smoke! Smoke! Okay, he does get the smoke. Is that too late? Is that too late? Man, that Vet 2 Churchill. Why is he so fast? Looks like they made the infantry support smoke bleed less speed. But yeah, the Churchill does survive with incredible amounts of luck. And maybe not equal parts incompetence on the German side, but definitely a bit of German incompetence came into play there. Sweet Roll is also going for a T-34, which is a good decision. It's a good decision because it can provide some good flanking options against the jagdtiger. And it also provides flanking options against the LEFH artillery piece. Now that would be very, very dangerous, but it's still a thing. Man, Adamir Magnum, if I were to tell you anything right now, it would be to, well, 1, use your resources, and 2, to get weapons on the infantry. Like, upgrade those weapon racks and get yourself some friends. It would really help against the Volksgrenadiers. Not because the Volksgrenadiers in and of themselves are much of a threat, but because if you can start to, like, seriously bleed out the guy, and take care of his manpower, he's going to be in a terrible spot. Also, you could get some Piats to deal with the jagdtiger. That would be another idea as well. Oh well, okay, finally the Pack 43 is dead. And now, with less defenses on this side, the allies are going to be feeling way more emboldened to actually attack towards the battle headquarters. Of course, this is only a diversion. It's good though that they're doing this, because as you can see, they're keeping a lot of German troops on the left side of the map, on the south side, right? And they're doing that with minimal amounts of guys. The rest of the troops are just kind of concentrating on north and center, which suits them just fine, because right now with 111 VPs left, I'd say that the allies need to focus on two of the VPs. Focus on holding those at all costs, right? Because you do not want to be losing even a single VP at this point. Of course, it's quite good if you can just kind of randomly send the Churchill down here, because the pack is dead, and you know, pretty much at no cost deal a lot of damage, because, like, as you can see over here, oh, that's nasty. So here comes the Katyusha barrage, supported by the Churchill. The Churchill's going to take damage from the Schwerpanzer, but, you know, he can kind of come in, deal a lot of damage, although he's sacrificing this guy. He's definitely sacrificing this guy just to get some damage dealt. If I were him, I'd try to run away, but well, for some reason, the jagdtiger's not coming around. See, I was expecting the jagdtiger to come in. Nice! Il-2 precision bombing strike. That's what he was doing. He was spotting for the Il-2 precision bombing strike, which has destroyed the artillery piece. And the Churchill, in the meantime, is just racking up those kills, although he really should be focusing on destroying the Raketenwerfer itself. Nice grenade, misses. And it looks like he's going to die to the Panzer headquarters fire, or the just continuous Panzerfausting that he's taking. But he is doing a lot of damage. He even killed one of the Raketenwerfer. No, sorry, not both the Raketenwerfer and the support gun. Where's the other support gun? It probably died somewhere else. It probably died up here. And the Churchill's going to die, but it will be doing so with great honor. Honestly, if he popped an infantry support smoke right now, he'd be invulnerable to Panzerfausts, because these things are targeted. You cannot attack ground with them. And yeah, as you can see, he's just pretty much completely cleared out the south side, except for the buildings. And, I mean, I'm not sure it's worth wasting the vet-free, well, quote-unquote wasting, but, like, sacrificing the vet-free Churchill to do that. But, you know, he's dealt a lot of damage. It would be worth it if he were to be fast and capitalize upon this. Like, for example, he needs to take North VP right now. Because there's no jagdtiger over here, they can use the T-34s to deal with this MG. Then they can take these forces and try to fortify the other two VPs. So that's an opportunity for a triple cap. So never mind what I just said earlier about holding those two VPs. Because they managed to distract this jagdtiger so much and weaken the south side of Germany, then they're gonna have a good time. Looks like the land mattress is trying to get the kill on the battle group headquarters. Not sure if that's gonna be possible. We'll see. Oh, hello! I am Su-152. You do not want to come into my crosshair. And yeah, Su-152 is it's pretty good at dealing with these infantry swarms. Anyway, here comes the Jag, and the Jag is obviously gonna try to deal with the Churchill and the Su-152, which is its job. You know, these slow ass motherfuckers. But you know, Su-152 is overrated. Su-152 is outdated. Churchill's overrated, long heavy-weighted, ramming activated, and so he's gonna be coming in and stunning the jagdtiger, and here comes the combo. Wombo combo with the Il-2 precision bombing strike, gonna get behind him with the other T-34 to prevent him from moving. Nasty damage coming in on the jagdtiger, and that's gonna be the end of the Jagd. With no resources for Skark because he's building a Panzer IV. But even if he were to cancel it, he cannot Cannot buy another jagdtiger because that's just way too expensive. And with Shionji Yuko only getting a Panther now, the Germans are now in a bad spot because they've lost their main source of heavy AT for only a couple of measly T-34s that can be replaced. Adamir Magnum is sitting on a massive stockpile of resources that he can use to really power up his army in the future. Situation's looking pretty bad for the Nazis. And with, you know, overwhelming artillery actually coming in from the Allied side at this point, because we've got, well, maybe not overwhelming yet, but we've got a pretty nasty land mattress, accompanied, where the hell is it, by a pretty nasty Katyusha. They're starting to get kills, they're starting to get veterancy as a consequence of that, and so that is, you know, a pretty bad combination if you're the Axis right now. Here comes another T-34. How nice. So now it's the Allies that are in triple cap, and the Germans that have 4.5 minutes left of time to recap at least one of these points, or else they're going to lose. And the Panther over here is just not having the best of days against TS-152 with the armor-piercing shells. The South is being protected by a single vet-free MG. Obviously very, very cost-effective. Like, okay, so he's trying to sneak around, like, you know, maybe he can get around the arc of fire over here, but that arc of fire is actually relatively big. Is it because of the vet? Yeah, it looks like it's vet 2 that improves that arc of fire. He does get around, but even though he has gotten around, it doesn't really matter. His Panther is repairing still, so the T-34 can come in and kind of put a stop to this. In the meantime, on the right side, the new Churchill is trying to learn. And how do you learn? You learn it by killing the Germans. Kill the German. He's doing quite good at that. And he's actually being a bit of a bait. Like, as you can see, here comes the Panther being like, oh, I can kind of shoot at the guy. But here comes the Su-152. Oh, but he is lucky that the Su-152 has switched to... Oh no, he has actually switched to armor piercing, so he gets a nice hit. Another nice hit comes on those. Oh my god! That was something. Yabani Rotbliet. That was a good Katyusha barrage, killing two Volksgrenadiers, bet 5 Volksgrenadiers. So now we have only 2 squads left for Shionji, and 3 squads left for Skark, but without much veterancy. I'd say that, you know, it's not looking all that good. Nice. Il-2 precision bombing strike destroys yet another Schwer Panzer at quarters. Another PaK-43 died. So I'd say that the Axis are just kind of done for. Yeah, in the end, the Allies were able to coordinate themselves, get together, formulate a bit of a plan, and then, you know, face the challenges as a team, right? Rather than as 2 individuals. Whereas the Germans kind of stuck to playing 2 1v1s mostly. Now, I don't exactly remember what the situation... No, okay, so Shionji didn't have any vehicles at the time, but he had just lost a Panzer being a derp. If that Panzer had been around, the T-34s would have had a lot harder, you know, a lot more difficult of a time trying to flank the jagdtiger. However, it wasn't just the jagdtiger kill that really, like, decided this. It was just you could say, shift in overall strategies that gave the initiative back to the Allies, despite the fact that really it should have stayed with the Germans. Because the Allies had that point started to bank quite a bit on artillery and on the S-152, so that's obviously, not the most aggressive of strategies, but in the end, the Germans were not able to capitalize upon this, and because of that, by losing their medium tanks and by investing so much in the jagdtiger, they kind of just gave away the initiative back to the Allies. And because they had those artillery pieces working together and getting a lot of kills, making sure that all of essentially the pick from Shonji was countered because the fortifications were useless, then, with the added time that they had from the fact that the Germans were playing slow, they were able to just do too much damage. And in the end, kind of grind down the Axis. And from that point onward, kind of flanking around the jagdtigers and killing them just becomes a bit of a formality, because you have the initiative. What could have changed that would have been, I guess, again, a little bit more of an aggressive posture by the Germans in some areas, such as what they spent their resources on. And defensively, maybe a little bit more of a focus on, like, cannons. Because, you can kind of hide them behind the tank, but I don't know. That's just a couple of ideas, throwing it out there. So, yeah, anyway, great match. Thanks to Adamir for having sent that replay in. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.